Hello. The setup is kind of different today. I don't know what happened. I can't make it. I can make it the same as last time. So the light. It seems like the light is kind of weird, but whatever. Today. Oh. Today, I'm gonna be talking about my favorite thing in the world, which is basically music and going to concerts. More specifically, going to concerts because I was thinking about doing a podcast like dedicated to music and like the stuff I grew up on and my favorite bands and like how it evolved and what stayed the same. But today, actually, the focus of this episode is just talking about the concerts I've been to, which is literally my favorite thing in the world, going to concerts. Because music is my favorite thing in the world. And concerts are the place where you can like live it and experience it. So I thought I would talk about that today. I have a list of the concerts that I've been to. I'm sure I'm forgetting some, like maybe some smaller concerts, but I tried my best to like remember every single one I've been to. So maybe I'm gonna forget some, but I have, as usual, my cookie notebook with my notes. And I just thought about concerts. I really want to talk about it because, like I said, it's my favorite thing in the world, and I really miss it. I've been going to concerts like pretty much every single year ever since I was like 2010, so I was like 15, 16. So I have a list of the concerts I've been to, and I'm gonna try to like talk about them. Maybe if I have like some interesting stories or like behind the scenes and stuff like that, because I've actually been able to meet some of the artists that I like, or like even go on stage with some. And yeah, so I'm just gonna get to it. I don't want to waste so much time. So basically, I went to a few concerts when I was young, but nothing big, like like just concerts of like maybe cover bands and smaller artists and stuff like that. But I remember like the first proper big concert I've ever been to was Placebo, which is like like imagine starting your concert experience with Placebo. And that was in 2010. So that was like my first big, like for real concert. And I remember I was like too young to go alone, so my dad had to go with me. But he loves Placebo too. And we went there together. It was at the same place Pangtan did their concert for the Wings tour in 2017. So it was like a small place, like 7,000 people. It's the same arena Pangtan did their Wings tour concert at. So that's where I saw Placebo, and I remember my dad had to go with me, but I wanted to be in the pit, obviously. But my dad didn't want to be in the pit, so I bought premium tickets for me, like premium pit, like the VIP one for myself, and then my dad bought like the seats behind. They were actually good. Like his seat was actually pretty good, but we were in different sections of the concert. So that was like my first big, like, I really love this artist. I mean, like my teenage years were like Placebo. Obviously MCR and stuff like that, but that's for another episode. So that was my first one, the first big one. And then second one, I'm looking at my list, by the way, so second one was Bless the Fall, which I don't know if a lot of people will know them because they're like a screamo band, like screamo rock. I don't even remember what genre they are, but I went It was at a very, very small music, like concert hall, like concert place. Very small. It was, I think it was even like a bar or something like that. Pretty small. Very hardcore because they weren't the only ones playing that night. I think they were like, they weren't even the biggest band of the night, but I went there with like a couple of my friends and the friends that I had at the time. And the one like thing about this concert that like I wrote down that's like stuck with me is that I was in the pit. I think it was like either like barricade or like second row, and people were like, you know, like stage diving and like mosh pit and whatever, and then a person was like walking on the crowd, and that person stepped on my head. So that was like one of the memories I have of that concert, like really hardcore mosh pits, like stage diving, people like going all out. So that was interesting. It was pretty, it was obviously it was really fun. I was really into them back then, but that was like my second, you know, in that one I went alone because I had friends who were not underage. I had friends who were older than me, so they could take me there with them. It didn't have to be my dad because I was still too young to go alone. So that was the second one. Then I saw 30 Seconds to Mars in 2011, and obviously that was back then. I don't support them anymore. But I was really into them when I was a teenager, and that concert was really fucking special, man. Because like, I obviously I was into them, so that was special in itself. The place, I don't remember exactly where it was, but it wasn't that big. I think it was like pretty similar to the place where Placebo performed, which is probably like, I don't know, 10,000 tops, like tops, maybe less. I don't know. I'm not sure because I was barricade. So I didn't really care what was happening behind me and stuff like that. But if you were into 30 Seconds to Mars, you know that for their last song, which was Kings and Queens, they used to invite a couple of people from the crowd to go on stage. And I was one of them. And I was so fucking happy. It was like, I had a friend. I went with like a bunch of people I knew. We were friends at the time. And then actually one of the friends that went with me, he also got invited to go up on stage and just be with them, be with the band and stuff. And I remember like we were crying. We were so happy because we were like, we couldn't believe it was happening, and that we were like experiencing it together. You know, like both of us got the chance to go up on stage, and that was like pretty special because like obviously like being close to the artist that you admire. I remember I even like shook hands and stuff. But also like the feeling of being on stage and seeing that many people from up a stage. Because my biggest dream, like ever since I was very young, was just to be like a rock star or like a performer or a singer or whatever. So going up on stage and seeing all those people and just being like, wow, this is the life, you know, like this is what I want to do with my life. So it was pretty cool. It was pretty special. And then after that, I went to Rock in Rio with my family. So obviously I'm from São Paulo, and Rock in Rio obviously is in Rio. So me, my dad, my mom, my brother, and my dog, obviously, we traveled to Rio to go to Rock in Rio. And the thing is, I broke my foot a week before we had to leave, a week before the concert, the day of the concerts. And my doctor, I was like walking down the stairs, and then I thought the stairs were done, but they weren't. And I was carrying my dog because he was a puppy. So I fell, I broke my foot a week before we had to leave. And the doctor was pretty much like, maybe you shouldn't go. You know, like maybe you shouldn't go to like the biggest festival ever, like 100,000 people, I think. And then I just looked at my dad and my mom was just like, yeah, sure, I'm for sure not gonna go, you know? But then obviously we went. And my dad actually had to kind of change the tickets that we had because we had like normal pit tickets, but then obviously because I broke my foot, I was on a wheelchair, so my dad had to call the, I don't know what happened. I was like, I don't even know what happened, but at the end of the day, we got to stay at the accessibility, like the accessible area, you know, for people who need like accessibility and stuff. So we were really close to the stage, but I remember it was so cold because we went, obviously we went for the experience, but number one, we went to see Metallica because that's like our joint favorite band, like rock band, like of our family. And we went to see Metallica, number one, and then number two, Slipknot. And Metallica, obviously they are the biggest band ever, so you have to wait. They're the last performers of the night. And I had a cast on my entire leg because I broke my foot, but I'm always very like heavy-handed, so the cast has to go like up to my fucking neck, you know, because if it's just like the tiny place, it doesn't work. And it was so cold and like my toes were out. And then I remember just like my mom giving me like this random piece of like fabric to put on my feet because it was so cold. But it was like insane. It was insane. It was like, till today, that was the biggest concert I've ever been to. Maybe Wembley, Bangtan Wembley was either the same or very close, but that was like open, you know, like open festival. You had like the rides and everything, bunch of bands, but it was insane. It was amazing. It was so nice. And I really want to like give thanks to my parents for taking me with a broken leg on a wheelchair to a festival with 100,000 people just to see Metallica and Slipknot. And we had a great time. It was amazing. And I remember like when I had to go to the bathroom, my dad had to like piggyback me. And so like, thank you. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad. Thank you, brother, for having that. It was so nice. It was very nice. And it was also very eye-opening in the sense that because I was on a wheelchair, you could really see how unprepared and not accessible this kind of event is in Brazil. Obviously, it's been 10 years, so maybe it's gotten better. I don't know. I don't live there anymore, but it was incredibly hard to like navigate the spaces there. It was not accessible at all. Bathrooms weren't accessible. The entrances weren't really accessible. People don't really make space for you. There aren't a lot of ramps, but again, it's been 10 years. I don't know if things got better, if Brazil now hosts more accessible events. I don't know, but it was pretty eye-opening of just like how unprepared and how not accessible these kinds of events are in Brazil, or were back then. I don't know. So we went there. We went to see Metallica, Slipknot. Obviously, we ended up seeing like a bunch of other artists like Angra and what else, Motorhead. But we went there for Metallica and Slipknot. So that was in 2011. And then 2012, I went to like a bunch of concerts in 2012. The first one, I don't remember the order exactly of like which one was the first at like in a certain year, but I wrote down, I saw The Used in 2012. It was actually like this thing, like cultural thing that they were doing in Brazil where they would like have concerts with two bands. This one was The Used and Evanescence. I went to see The Used, and then the same friend that I got up on stage when we were seeing 30 Seconds to Mars, we entered like this kind of contest to meet the band backstage, and we won. The same friend that I had. So I got to meet the guys from the band. It was super fucking cool. They were like super chill. I think I cried. I don't remember. I was very young, but I was very, very excited, very overwhelmed. And then we met them right before, because they were technically they were opening for Evanescence, and we got to meet them right before the concert. And then we left backstage and went to our places, and we had like pit, like barricade. So that was also pretty fucking cool. And then when their concert ended, we just left because we didn't really care for Evanescence. But like meeting them and stuff like that, it was really, really nice. It was pretty cool. And then next one I have on my list, Lady fucking Gaga. Dude. So it was her like Born This Way tour, which is like top tier. And I remember I got like all dressed up and stuff like that. I had like a bandana, like a vest with spikes and shit, because it was like very theatrical. And we had the Monster Pit. If you don't know, like at that time, I don't even know if it works like that still, but like for Lady Gaga, the first 500 people in line, they get to stay at this like very VIP area of the arena. It was a stadium, so we were part of this like 500 people, the first ones in line, and that thing was called like the Monster Pit. And like I swear to God, like I saw her like 2 meters away from me, because that was like the most premium spot ever. You didn't even you only had to pay for like the premium pit, but if you were one of the first 500, then you just got that Monster Pit experience for free. And it was insane. And she's such an amazing performer, and she sings and she dances, and like her energy it's like insane. Like it was like a spectacle, I remember like thinking. And she's also like super tiny, and she wears like super high heels, and she dances and sings and like she's an insane performer. Like her voice, her energy, her charisma. And I was so close to her. It was super fucking cool. And I feel like for most of these concerts, like the old ones, I already had an iPhone, like a very old one, like the first iPhones that existed, like the 3 one, 3S, 3GS or something. But it wasn't like that easy to take pictures. I think you had like not a lot of memory either. Also, data was expensive. So like I don't have a lot of pictures from these concerts. I have some on like my Facebook account, which that's like the only reason why I still have Facebook, is because I don't want to lose those pictures. But I don't have a lot of pictures from that. And thinking about now, how when I go to concerts now, like you can take videos, you can do whatever. But yeah, so Lady Gaga also 2012. And then next one in 2012 was fucking Bob Dylan. I saw Bob Dylan. I still can't believe I saw him. You know, like, because it's such a legendary figure. Like Bob Dylan, I saw him. I saw him play the fucking harmonica, you know? I cried so much. And I was alone for that concert. And it was like, I think that was like the most different concert experience I had, because I was used to like going to these places, these concerts, and it's just like doing it the Brazilian way. Like you sleep, you camp, you stay like overnight, 2 nights, 3 nights, and it's like very hardcore. Like Brazilians, I think everybody knows like Brazilians are very hardcore when it comes to concerts. So I was used to like this very hardcore concert kind of experience. But then I went to Bob Dylan, and it was like seated. I had never been to a seated concert before, you know? And they were like serving champagne and whatnot, and I was just there like, I think I was like 17, just like, okay, you know, do I have to stay in my seat? So that was like, I think even till this day, I think that was like the most different concert experience I've ever had, because it was very, very fancy, and like the complete opposite of what I was used to, which is like camping overnight, just like fighting for your life in the pit, all of that. So Bob Dylan, very fancy. Then the next one is like very similar. It was part of the same cultural program thing that they used in Evanescence was from. And this one was Keane and Maroon 5. And this one, honestly, I just went because like my classmates from high school, they wanted to see Maroon 5 and Keen. I mean, I went there for Keen because I knew more about them, and I didn't really like Maroon 5. Still don't, but I went there more like for my friends because it's more like, because it's two bands, it kind of has like this festival kind of feeling, and it was fun. Like I drank, had fun. Like my friends from high school were there, and it was okay. Like I don't have like any particular like memories from this concert because I just, I just went, just but, and then, okay, that was 2012. And then 2013, I saw Black Sabbath with Ozzy, by the way. Me, my mom, my dad, and my brother. It was so good. I still can't believe I saw Bob Dylan. I still can't believe I saw Ozzy. Like that's the kind of thing. So we went there, like me and my family, we went there. I didn't have a broken foot this time, which was fun. It was insane. Like, what can you even say? Like, Ozzy is like a living legend. The set list was impeccable. Also, who opened for them? The one like Dave Mustaine. What's his name? Like Megadeth. Megadeth. Sorry to Megadeth fans. I'm a Metallica fan. Oops. But Megadeth opened for them, and then I saw Ozzy and Black Sabbath and stuff, and it's still like one of those things that I still can't believe. And it was so fun because like it was me, my family, we were all there. We all love the same thing with Metallica. Like that's what we like, that's our thing. So it was pretty special, man. It was pretty special. And we were pretty close. And obviously because my parents were there, I couldn't camp overnight or anything like that. But because I think the crowd was a little bit older and that kind of thing, we didn't, like, even if we just arrived like right before the concert, we could still get like a nice place. Because it was also open air, like festival kind of vibe thing. So that was 2013. Yeah, and then 2014 I saw Metallica again, but it was just them. It was at the same stadium I saw Lady Gaga. It was insane. Like, I still can't believe we were pretty far away because I didn't buy VIP tickets that time, which is like in Brazil I always bought VIP tickets because I really wanted like to try it for Barricade, and I really like to be close and stuff because you can see better, but that time I didn't. But it was pretty nice, and it was like second time seeing them, very different from seeing them at a festival. I think it was part of like their On Demand tour, which is the tour where you could like vote for the set list. So that was pretty interesting too. That was pretty nice. And then after that, I saw One Direction at the same stadium. I don't remember which one came first. I think One Direction was like June, July. Metallica was before. I don't remember if it was before and after, but that was like Metallica 1D in 2014. I loved 1D. I don't hide it. Like, I used to love them. And it was for their Midnight Memories tour, which is like a great album. Till today, I still think it's a great album. And I was pretty close too, because I had VIP, like premium pit, pretty close. I think I was like, I don't know, 6th or 7th row. So I could see the boys very close. The stage was very big. It was pretty nice. It was also pretty nice. And then I didn't go to any concerts for like a few years because I was saving money to move abroad. And I even wrote this down because concerts in Brazil are very expensive, like very expensive. To be honest, like everything in Brazil is very expensive, but concerts especially are very expensive, and you have to like put in a lot of money if you want to see someone. It's not like Here in Europe, I'm still getting used to the fact that you can like pay $30 to see an artist. In Brazil, if it's like a big artist, you could never pay $30 to see them. It's very, very expensive. Also because the currency is very weak. So I think that also plays into it. And a lot of artists don't go to Brazil that often, but every single artist that goes to Brazil loves it. Like you can like Google any artist, they're gonna be like, Brazil is the best. And it's true, you know. I'm gonna talk a little bit about that later, but yeah. Then I stayed, I didn't go to any concerts for a few years because I was saving money to move abroad. And then I had my first concert experience here in Italy, here in Europe, which was Arctic Monkeys in Milan, 2018. And that was my first European concert, and the difference is insane. Like I said, I was so used to the Brazilian way of experiencing concerts and just being like so hardcore, like you fight for your life, you like, you know, like you die, you just like, you put like you fucking blood, sweat, and tears kind of thing. So like camping overnight, staying like even more than 1 night, 2 nights a week. But here it was my first concert, and I arrived like an hour before the concert started, and everybody was so calm. Like it was such a different experience. Like there wasn't that like hardcore feeling of like, I need my spot in line or I need barricade or whatever. Like I arrived an hour before the doors opened. I got like a pretty good spot, and I arrived an hour before it opened. So I think I was like 10th row, 11th row, still pretty close. I could still see everything. And that was my first time experiencing the Italian crowd, like European crowd in comparison to Brazilian crowd. And it's pretty different. I'm gonna talk about it later. But that was pretty nice. I've loved Arctic Monkeys for, I don't even know how long. Like I grew up on them too. So being able to see them like finally was really nice. And it was very cheap, which was still very unusual for me, as I think my brain is still like, you have to pay like $500 to see the artist you like, but here's like $30 and you see them. So first European concert. And then I saw BTS. I went to Berlin for the first time they came to Europe in 2018. Me and my best friends, we went to see them in Berlin, and we saw them for both days because they performed in Berlin twice, in October 16th and 17th. And honestly, I don't even know if I want to talk about it because it's such like a precious memory to me. It's such a special moment, you know, like first day seeing them for the first time ever after like, you know, like they're the artists of your life, they're the performers of your life, and seeing them for the first time was, yeah, I mean, I made a video when I went to the concert, like back in 2018, like I posted a lot about it, I talked about it a lot, so I don't want to go on too much about it because it's like such a special memory for me. And so we saw them twice in a row. First time seeing them, it was also their first time in Europe. I need some water. Also today I'm wearing pants, so I don't have to dodge the no pants situation. But yeah, that was fun. I mean, fun is an understatement, you know? Obviously, it was fun. They're my favorite artists of my entire life, so. And still very new, like the whole experience in Europe, and so that was nice. I don't want to go on too much about it because I could go on forever, you know. But yeah, then in 2019, like the beginning of the year, I think it was still winter. It was like, I think it was like spring was about to start. I saw Troye Sivan also like one of my all-time favorite artists. And I saw him at a very small place. What was the name? Like Factory or something? Oh, anyway, it doesn't matter. Pretty small place, like 3,000 people. Insane. I also arrived like pretty close to, because I was, at this time, I was also used to, I had already gotten used to the European concert experience of like, I don't have to camp for a week, you know? So I saw him. He is an amazing performer. It felt like, there were only 3,000 people, but it felt like there were like 10,000 because he's such a good performer. Incredible voice, very emotional. He talks a lot, like during the concert, he interacts a lot with the concert, and the crowd at that concert was very fun. So I could see that he was having a good time too, you know? So like I laughed, I cried, I sang, I fucking lost my mind. And I went alone to that one. Arctic Monkeys, I also went alone. Insane. It was so good. He's such an amazing performer. And then the next concert I went to was fucking Wembley Stadium 2019. It was my first time going to London, which is like a city I've dreamed of going my entire life. So it was like, it was so much happening at the same time for me. It was like such an emotional experience of like being in the city I've only ever dreamed of going for years, like ever since I was like 5 or 6, which was when I got into, you know, Harry Potter and stuff like that. And then seeing like BTS again, Bangtan again, twice again, because me and my friend, we can't like control ourselves. We were just like, dude, let's just go for both days again, like we did in Berlin. So it was like such an emotional, very, very emotional experience of being in this place that was like a dream. Seeing them again, which was a dream. So seeing them twice, even a bigger dream. And everything, just being in that place, and like the fact that it was at Wembley, which is such a like historical, important, like the fact that they sold out Wembley twice. So like being part of that was like, I joke about it, that concerts are like the only place I can really feel free in a way. It sounds very dramatic, but concerts, I feel like I can let go. I don't know how to explain it. It's just like nothing really matters. You know, like my mental illness or my worries and my difficulties and like my struggles and my pain and everything is like, I can set everything aside for those like 2-3 hours, and like I'm able to live in the moment. It was really special. I cried a lot, obviously, like I did in Berlin. I saw them 4 times. I've seen them 4 times, and I cried all 4 times at different points in the concert, bawling my eyes out. And before I saw them, I saw Sunmi, because me and my friend, we went to London for like 5 days, and we were gonna see Bangtan 2 days in a row. And then we also saw Sunmi. So it was like, we arrived, then it was Sunmi, then like a free day, Bangtan, then another free day, then another free day. So I think we stayed like for 5 nights or in 6 days. I don't remember exactly because I was so overwhelmed. So it was Sunmi before BTS. But, and that was like the last time I could experience that kind of happiness, like the happiness I can only find when I'm at a concert, like the kind of peace and the kind of like being able to let go and whatever. It probably sounds very stupid, but like I know what I mean. I hope it's like you guys are able to understand what I mean too. So yeah, that's my list. I remember like I've seen a really good Pink Floyd cover band, like insanely talented cover band. I saw like a bunch of like other smaller like rock cover bands like Metallica cover, Black Sabbath cover, Bon Jovi, Aerosmith. I don't remember, like I've seen a bunch of like smaller rock cover bands and like Brazilian rock and stuff like that too. But like these are like the big artists, big concerts I've been to. And that's it. I think like these are my best memories, my favorite memories. And especially recently that now when I see Bangtan, I also see my friends and I travel to places I've only ever dreamed of going to. And I really hope things get better soon, because this summer was supposed to be full of nice things too. It did happen, but hopefully soon things will get better. And then yeah, that's my list. Let me see what's the next topic. Oh yeah, concerts are very expensive in Brazil. I already talked about this. Concerts are very expensive, and it like buying tickets is like the fucking Hunger Games. Like I know most of us are used to like BTS tickets, which are like the ultimate Hunger Games, but like in Brazil is like for everything you want to see is Hunger Games. Very expensive too. And also like just the difference of the crowd. I don't want to compare, but like since I've lived both experiences and I'm Brazilian and Italian, I feel like I can talk about it. But I think the only thing I want to say is that there is no crowd like the Brazilian crowd, period. I think like most artists that performed in Brazil and in other places, like even Bangtan, they talk about Brazil like such high fondness and stuff like that. So I think I'm gonna leave it at that so I don't upset anybody, but there is no crowd like the Brazilian crowd. And I really want to experience like a BTS concert in São Paulo, which is like my hometown, because I miss the Brazilian crowd. You know, it's like, it's very different. Obviously I still enjoy it, I love it anyway, but like the warmth of the crowd, like the passion, the intensity, and how people express it is very intense, is very passionate, is very loud, is very warm, and I miss it. And I hope in the future I can go fly to Brazil to see them someday, maybe. I don't know. But yeah. Also, another thing I want to talk about is that obviously for Wembley, for day 2, the organizers for the concert, the company and stuff, they organized like a surprise for the members, which was us singing Young Forever. And I still think that's like my ultimate moment in life, like the most beautiful moment in life, that kind of stuff. That's how I feel. And it was so funny because we weren't really expecting that to happen. And obviously like Young Forever is like one of those untouchable songs for me. So much so that when we were planning on going to London, we went to get tattooed there, and my tattoos, like I got four? Yeah, I got 4, and like 2 of them are about Young Forever. So it was like such a beautiful coincidence, such an emotional thing of like favorite song, favorite era, favorite album in the city I can't believe I'm in. Seeing them for the 4th time, singing the song and surprising them, and just like very, very, very emotional experience. And then like the day after the concert, like the 2 days after the concert, we were getting tattooed, and I got, probably everybody, my Young Forever balloon. Then on the same day, I got my sea tattoos, ocean and desert. And then I also got another Young Forever tattoo. I don't know, how the hell am I gonna show this? At the back of my neck. Is it in shot? But yeah. So Young Forever lyrics, Young Forever balloon, then the sea reference and stuff. But it was such an emotional coincidence. It was really nice, and good memories. Very good times. And also, technically, I was supposed to see The Neighborhood in November, so next month, but obviously with Corona and stuff, not gonna happen. But also Ticketmaster didn't really say anything, so like my ticket is still there. I didn't get a refund. They I don't know, like I didn't get any update or anything, so I was supposed to see The Neighborhood this next month, but that's not gonna happen. So yeah, I'm probably forgetting something, but these were the ones that because I keep all of my concert tickets, but when I moved countries, I left some of them in Brazil, so I don't have all of them here with me. I couldn't really check. I had to like go by memory and then also like by Facebook update and stuff like that. So yeah, that was the mental unpacking I wanted to, like the memory unpacking this time I wanted to do. And to, as we say in Portuguese, para fechar com chave de ouro, né? This is what I got today in the mail, my Wembley DVD. I've been waiting for this to film this episode of like the concerts and stuff, because I thought it would be like a good match. So I got here today. It's super blue. Like the blue is very, very beautiful. It's like one of my favorite shades. I mean, I love blue anyway, but one of my favorite shades of blue. And it's the same size. If you have the Europe DVD or the Seoul DVD for the Love Yourself concerts, the same size. Then I got a Tete. It's like super, and this time the photo card is so big. It's like almost like a mini banner. And then in the back you have this. Then you have like the massive, huge poster, which I was like waiting to film the podcast so I can finally hang it. And it's just crazy, man. Like it's crazy to think that I was here, you know, like I still can't believe it. I don't want to go too much about it. Like I said, like I don't even want to talk that much about Berlin or London or anything like that, because it's so emotional to me. And yeah, I was here, man. I was here for both days, and it's still like insane. I still can't believe I was there. And then at the back you have like a wide shot of the arena. And then you have the photo book. Very, very nice. A lot of pictures. I'm not gonna... This isn't like an unboxing, I'm just showing it. And then the DVD case. Yeah. Also, I think I'm gonna show like the concert tickets I have, and also my banners for the concerts of the boys that I've been to. I think that would be a nice way to end it. Also, this is very long already. I can go on about this kind of stuff forever, as you can see. So yeah. Okay, so I only have the tickets for the concerts that I've been to here in Europe, because I had to leave the other ones in Brazil when I moved. But so Arctic Monkeys in 2018, June. Then oh no, not this one. This one first. Berlin, BTS, Love Yourself tour. We got like Pit for both days. And I even have like the bracelet that we had for like securing our spot in line. We were pretty close to like this one, like 300, number 300 for second day. We were like third row, I think, in Berlin for the second day. And then for the first day, we were like fifth row, sixth row or something like that. So super, super close to. So like both of the bracelets. Then I don't have my Sunmi ticket. Was it? I think Astrid had it on her phone or something like that. I don't remember. Then I saw Troy in Milan. And then the Wembley tickets. Oh, I still can't believe it. Like, yeah, feels kind of crazy. Okay, I'm gonna show the banners now. So I have them here on my wall. These two are from Wembley. They are smaller than the ones from Berlin. This was Berlin day 1, Berlin day 2, then London day 1, and London day 2. So yeah. Also like important concert adjacent kind of thing. I got like I won the LG booth thing. So I got a picture with Jungkook. Cause obviously I couldn't decide between Jimin and Jungkook. So I did like a lucky draw and I got him. And it was pretty cool. Like the experience was very, very nice. But yeah, also like a bunch of other things that were pretty cool, but yeah. Anyway, thank you for joining me on my 3rd episode. I think I was very excited for this episode. Maybe I was too excited. I don't know. I get very enthusiastic when I talk about concerts because they're my favorite thing in the world and I miss it very much. But thank you for watching episode 3 and listening to me talk about random things. Thank you for subscribing also, and thank you for like commenting and likes and stuff like that. And I hope everybody is doing well, everybody's staying safe, wearing masks, staying home. And yeah, I'll see you next time, maybe next week. I've accidentally started uploading every Thursday. So we'll see if that's gonna continue happening or not, but either way, I'll see you next time.